What things make you think American? Homemade apple pie, the 4th of July, baseball games, Hollywood, democracy, patriotism? America is known as the melting pot, which is why it is difficult to pinpoint specific characteristics of what it means to be an American. The beauty of being American is the ability to encompass many different cultures, such as different religions, backgrounds, foods, traditions, ethnicities, etc., to form one larger united culture. I consider myself not only an American, but also a French Canadian, a Southern girl, and as well as a Cajun. First off, I am a descendant of the French Canadians and consider myself a part of that subculture. My grandparents were part of the mass immigrations from Canada in the late 1800s. They spoke only French at first, but over time they learned to speak English, and thus they took their first step to becoming part of the new culture. My grandparents raised their children, which would be my parents, both sides, mother and father, in a household that was first and foremost based on the French customs and traditions. Before my parents even went to school, they only spoke French. It wasn't until they started primary school that they learned to speak English. That was a very strong tradition in the family, and it has been passed down from generation to generation. Also, both my parents are Roman Catholic, and this was a very strong Catholic family where they only went to Catholic schools so that they could pass on the traditions and the faith of the Catholic Church. Today, I carry on these traditions with my children. I teach them the Catholic faith, and I also teach them French. Furthermore, secondly, I also consider myself a Southern girl. I know that sounds kind of funny, but I was born and raised in Florida and have lived in what we call the Redneck Riviera or Southern Alabama for over 30 years. I consider myself a Southerner because Southerners are friendly people. They love cookouts, they love the outdoors, and they are productive citizens who value the rights of others, and family is very important to them. Of course, the first part of that is having good friends and neighbors. I'm a Southern girl. I love to cook out. I love to have friends and neighbors over and just have a great big barbecue. Also, we like to fish and hunt and go boating with our friends. We are hardworking, and we respect others, and our family is very important. We gather together to get to know each other. I can tell you the first time after coming to Panama City, we went to my brother's girlfriend's house, and that was my first run-in with the Southern culture, I should say. We had dinner with them, and what they placed on the table I had never seen. It was collard greens, black-eyed peas, and cornbread. Now, I was not sure what that was, and at 10 years old I was not going to eat it. But in time, I learned to appreciate that cooking, and now on New Year's Day I always go to their house, and we have black-eyed peas and ham hocks and cornbread, and I love every minute of it. Another aspect of Southern living for people are their religion. Most Southerners are not Catholic, and that was a very different thing for me. My first time stepping in a Southern Baptist church was when my brother married his girlfriend. Needless to say, it was the most culturally shocking experience of my life. I was always taught to sit still and be quiet in church, and all these people were yelling amens and raising their hands in the air, and it freaked me out. But I have learned to embrace that religion. I have no problem with other people's religions. So I do attend, when somebody asks me to church, I do try to go so that I can learn different aspects of different religions. I have been to Mormon churches, Baptist churches, Lutheran churches, Presbyterian, Catholic, of course. I've been to most of them, and I love to learn about the culture. Last but not least, I consider myself a Cajun. Cajuns are really funny people. They are pretty much like Southerners, except that the way they talk, the way they cook, and their religion, of course. Cajuns talk funny. I married a Cajun from New Orleans, where they celebrate Mardi Gras. And upon first meeting my husband, I could not understand a word he said. Through months of whats and huhs, I finally began to grasp the dialect of the Cajun. And it was very hard for me to learn what they were saying. Also, Cajuns cook weird stuff. Some of the stuff, I thought Southerners cooked weird stuff, Cajuns cook weird stuff. I didn't know what the heck a crawfish was, and boy was I not going to try it either. But eventually, either because they wore me down or because I was too drunk to say no, I tried one, and I haven't stopped eating crawfish ever since. I love their spices. They know how to zip any kind of food up. They're excellent cookers. And most Cajuns are Catholic. I did not know this, but I was lucky enough not to have to deal with a different religion. I was happy to learn that my husband was also a Roman Catholic. We were married, much to my delight, in a Roman Catholic church in New Orleans. So this leads me to what do I identify myself as? Am I only a member of the French Canadian culture? Am I only a member of the Southern culture? Am I only a member of the Cajun culture? What am I? What about the other people in the United States? What about the Latino businessman in New York City? What about the African American teacher in Arizona? What about your neighbor next door who might be from Japan or Italy or some other place? The answer is that we are all Americans. We each bring a piece of the puzzle to the American culture. Being American is not just about homemade apple pies, the 4th of July, and the baseball games. It's about embracing the different cultures that make up America and being receptive to differences. I want to leave you with some words from Lynn A. Ahrens. She's a lyric writer, and I thought these words just summed it up so beautifully. Lovely Lady Liberty, with her book of recipes, and the finest one she's got, is the great American melting pot. The great American melting pot. What good ingredients, liberty, and immigrants. They brought the country's customs, their language, and their ways. They filled the factories, tilled the soil, helped build the USA. Go on and ask your grandma. Hear what she has to tell. How great to be an American and something else as well. Well, in conclusion, whether you are Canadian French, a Lower Alabamian, Southerner, or a Cajun from New Orleans, we are all a piece of the puzzle that makes up the American culture. It is great to be an American.